So the only way to make a disruptive change is to bring a northerner and disrupt his regime. And the ADC has agreed. It has to be 4 years.
Okay,
and the ADC position is clear, that you would have a free and fair primary election where everybody is free to contest.
Okay.
It is not ADC saying they prefer northern candidate. No. It is my own preference and strategy, because that's the only way to win Tinubu in the election.
Okay.
The whole ADC structure is being packaged for the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. And since I started warning people about what's happening, we can see what's happening within the coalition. Someone like Mr. P2B now understands that that whole coalition was packaged for Atiku Abubakar. From our understanding, what we are saying now is that he's looking in other directions, you know. And other people who want to run, who are aspiring to run, now realize that the coalition was indeed no coalition. It was just a vehicle for Atiku Abubakar's ambition. But I still say this: the ADC will never be the vehicle for that ambition.
It wasn't the PDP, it wasn't the G5, and it definitely won't be business as usual. In 2027, Nigeria may witness the most unexpected political twist in decades. Atiku Abubakar, Rotimi Amechi, P2B all again towards a contest in the 2027 election. And for Atiku Abubakar, it is not longer business as usual, no longer tied to old alliances. And he is set to return back, but this time around not with the party that you expect. Now, at the helm of a rising coalition under the African Democratic Congress, he is building a fresh political war machine. New name, new alliance, new battleground. But the question is bold. Can Atiku, armed with new party and old ambitions, finally defeat Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Or is this the final dance of a political titan fighting against time, fatigue, and a ruthless incumbent? This may be the showdown that we have never seen. This is Atiku's last card. Let's explore this in this video. Atiku, the perennial contender and former vice president, has resigned from the People's Democratic Party, a party he once carried on his back. But this time, he is not returning to APC, nor is he forming a fresh political outfit. Instead, he is now part of the leaders of the new coalition, boldly branded as the Party of the People, rallying behind the African Democratic Congress, ADC. It is no longer a rumor. It is real. Atiku is gone from the PDP, and with him, so is the last glimmer of hope for the People's Democratic Party's survival. Would the party survive? That's the big question. Now to the simple one, yet doubting question. Can Atiku defeat Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027 if the ADC gives him the presidential ticket, which is somehow looking likely at the moment? In recent months, the ADC has transformed from a fragile player to a gathering force, backed by a coalition of civil society groups, disillusioned politicians, youth leaders, and technocrats. The ADC is being branded as the third force revolution, but this time with actual structure. And if Atiku becomes the presidential candidate, it might become the second force. His new movement, the Party of the People, is more than just a brand. It is a mass recruitment drive, and it is shaking the foundation of established parties. Governors, former lawmakers, and aggrieved PDP chieftains are quietly aligning. Even disillusioned Labour Party members are said to be flirting with the ADC. This is in Atiku's testing waters. This is Atiku trying to build Noah's Ark before the 2027 flood. But is the Ark strong enough to carry him to victory against Tinubu? That should be the question at the moment. Atiku Abubakar is no stranger to presidential contest. In 2019, he faced off against Buhari. In 2023, he was one of the three major forces that nearly split Nigeria electorate. He has contested 6 times, been on the ballot 3 times, and finished second twice. To his loyalists, Atiku is the most prepared Nigerian never to be president. To critics, he is a serial loser who refuses to read the room. But this time, he is not running on the weight of the PDP. He might be running with the freedom of a new banner, a new identity which somehow so many Nigerians are already tilting towards. Can this detachment help him finally achieve what he has always failed to grasp? Will voters finally see Atiku, the technocrat, and not Atiku, the old warlord? The PDP was a party of contradictions, regional blocs, internal sabotage, and endless ego wars. But the new coalition under ADC appears to have a clear agenda: economic stabilization, youth and tech-driven innovation, electoral reform, national unity outside ethnic propaganda, and perhaps, more importantly, it is Atiku's party now. So it looks not a place where he has to beg for loyalty or fight for internal rebellion. If he can raise funding, mobilize structures across the 36 states, and deploy grassroots data and digital organizing like P2B once did when he became a real threat to Tinubu, especially in the north, where he still commands influence, this might be his chance to becoming Nigerian president.
27, there is an incumbent. This incumbent has publicly elicited that he knows how to take power by force, grab it, snatch it, and run away with it. This incumbent now has the army, the police, the navy by his side. This incumbent is from the south. Let me tell you, it has not happened in Nigeria. I don't see it happening in 2027. That you will use a fresh candidate from the same section of the Nigeria to win an incumbent candidate. And this is my reason. When people say 12 million votes for Buhari, that is 12 million votes he garners only when he is dealing with a southern candidate. When Buhari contested with Umaru Yar'Adua, he got only 7 million votes in 2007. So when you are talking about using a fresh candidate for any section, you cannot use the same candidate from that section to defeat an incumbent. And the reason is that nobody will be willing to fight for any vote if the candidate rigs the election. And so I am talking from the platform that I do not believe that we are going to have free, fair, credible election in 2027. I don't believe it.
Let's face it, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is walking into 2027 with battle scars. The economy is on life support. The naira continues to stumble. Security crises are spiraling. APC is fractured beneath the surface. While Tinubu will have the incumbency advantage, he may also carry the burden of disappointment. And that is where Atiku's new movement may strike hardest, targeting the silent frustration of the masses, especially among youths, civil servants, and middle-class voters. In 2023, it was P2B who carried that anger. But in 2027, P2B may continue to carry it, but with a weakened Labour Party and a chance that he might not even get a ticket of the ADC. Atiku might seize the mantle if he plays it right. Coalitions are tricky in Nigeria. Many have failed. But if Atiku's party of the people can unite, Labour Party breakaways, NNPC elements, Southern technocrats, Northern progressives, then for the first time in 2 decades, Nigeria may have a real 3-way fight or even a 2-way showdown between the ADC and the APC. The 2023 results show that no one controls Nigeria anymore. Tinubu won with just 36% of the votes. If ADC plus Atiku plus other big names could push a nationwide movement that grabs over 40%, it's game on, especially if Tinubu faces a low turnout or a divided southwest. Atiku remains a dominant figure in the northeast and northwest, even with the emergence of Rabiu Kwankwaso, Tinubu's stronghold in the southwest. But that's where his margin may shrink in 2027. P2B may still win southeast, but with what some Nigerians tag a weak structure, his votes may not count in the endgame. If Atiku can reclaim parts of the north central, win over youths in the south-south, and break even in Lagos and Ogun, he could potentially win, or at least force a runoff. But this is not a fantasy. Atiku's part is deep and thorny. He will need to convince Nigerians that ADC is serious, raise billions in campaign funds, recruit credible state coordinators, avoid internal splits, and most of all, sell a new Atiku, not recycled 2019 or 2023 promises. He must start now because 2026 is campaign season and Tinubu already has the machinery in motion. Can Atiku defeat Tinubu in 2027? Under the ADC, the odds are slim. But politics in Nigeria is no longer predictable. If the economy continues to crumble, if dishonest grows, if the ADC stays united, then yes, Atiku might finally win. Not through sympathy, not through PDP's dying legacy, but by building something new, something disruptive. Because sometimes in politics, the seventh time is the charm. This is the final stand of Atiku Abubakar, not just to defeat Tinubu, but to finally define his legacy. If you found this analysis bold, insightful and raw, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Frank Specs. Let the debates begin. Can Atiku really win? Drop your thoughts in the comment below.